Coach Cavin, I'm interested to know the technical study committee. That's what it's called, correct?
Yes.
Yes. What is it about?
For me, it's something new. I haven't done this before. But in saying that, yeah, we have a good instructor from Cape Town. Her name is Sweetness, and she's guiding us. And I'm here with Ricardo Manetti, Roy Lamborghini from Vince, and we have this lady called Sweetness, and we have Mark Fish. They've done a bit of it. So the study group that I'm about to see now is to try and sort of analyze the game, the strengths of the team, the weaknesses of the team, look at the formations, look at the coaches, whether the changes made during the game have effect on the game, to see whether they change the systems within the game, how they change. What has been good is the crop of players that are playing in COSAFA, because it is a non-CAF or non-FIFA competition. Is that helping the SADC regions improve? And if it is, what are they improving? Are they improving the players? Are they using younger players? Are they using older players? And we're trying to get all that type of information together and put it on some form of template, as far as I know, that we can present to COSAFA as a presentation to say this is what we saw during the course of the tournament. And of course, you know, there's some players, some teams or some countries that come in the quarterfinals, like Bafana, because they're champions, so they only join the tournament later on. But there's some tournaments like teams like Angola, like Lesotho, for example. In the last 3 games that we've watched, 3 days that we've watched, Lesotho and Angola, they look. Lesotho specifically looks a different team. I'm not saying they're a better team, but there's a little bit of a structure there. You know, they tend to play ultra defensive, and we want to see what they like. The other one that we took a lot of notice of that we saw is Mauritius. Mauritius in the past was a long ball nation, if you think back, and the game we watched, they wanted to play. They wanted to play out. They might not have had the players, or they might not have the players yet to play out from the back, but we saw number 17 in Mauritius, very, very comfortable centre back. I'm just mentioning what I'm trying to explain, what the TSG is all about. And probably at the end of the tournament, we will give a presentation on what we saw happening. And that's why you see that the makeup of the team is not all coaches. It's myself and Ricardo Manetti. Mark Fish is just an ex-player. Roy is a manager, or he was a manager. The 2 other guys are administrators, but they all have some form of coaching behind their backs. So that is what we're trying to put together, and that's what I believe COSAFA wants us to get. And if I'm able to add my 20 cents to the whole SADC region to say this country improves here, this country improves there, then I hope it comes out better the next time, or it just gets better all the time.
Coach, the fact that some teams are using this as a development competition while some have actually, like Eswatini, have brought quite a strong and experienced team, does that have any bearing on your assessments as the TSG?
Yes, it does. We take note of that as well. Why? Because we want to see what the other countries have, and then you've got to also take into consideration the other countries where they are this time of the world, this time of the season. South Africa is in pre-season. Eswatini, why are they not in pre-season? We go back and we look at that as well. Why is it that Comoros is able to bring a 16 and a 17-year-old, yet Eswatini brings 25, 29-year-olds? Where do we lie? So we'll make some form of recommendation, or not recommendation, or some form of ideas, what we saw regarding the different countries and what the average player or what the average team came along with.
And finally, coach, are you able to say which team has impressed you the most up to now?
Up to now, for us, Lesotho. Like I say, Lesotho in the past has never had any structure. It always looked like Lesotho was coming out of the bush. You know what? Forgive me for saying that, but you use another word. But it always looked like they were a small nation, not having any structure or anything. And yet, when you watch their team now, they're ultra defensive. They play 5-4-1, and they are able to not allow you to score, but they're able to go a little bit quicker on the counter attack. So that for me was good. When I looked at Malawi, they have Cavin, who's a big name player in South Africa, and when we watched their game, they were all over the show. So you know, Malawi, we always expect to be a playing nation because along the way leading up to here, we've always had good Malawian players. When you talk about Ernest Chirwali, Robert Ngambi, John Maduka himself, Kabedinho. So you always expect nice players to come out from that nation, and they somehow look all over the place. The same with there's other countries that had the same mentality, no proper structure, no proper idea of development, and that for us was a bit surprising. I mean, the Lesotho team, was it the Lesotho team? Yes, the number 12. Very, very, very good player, very nice player. None of us knows him, where he comes from, but when we look back, they were posting that he won player of the season in Lesotho. He scored the most goals. I don't know what he done, but so it's not like we're not seeing these players. Afterwards we're able to compare and we're able to see they are good players.
Thanks, coach.